We now move to brunch football. You ready for brunch?
I love
in
brunch.
Boulder. So they're not
like
playing
brunch.
around. Colorado wants that big noon kickoff spot. So they're like, sure, we'll play a game at 10 a.m. local. Let's roll. Utah goes to Colorado. Colorado is a 10.5-point favorite. The rare double-digit spread in the new Big 12, which is, I think, a testament to how well Colorado has played the last 3 games. Is it too big of a spread?
So I'm a very reactionary person, and I'm working on it. And I just put Colorado in the playoff field in my bubble watch.
Yes.
I think you gave some thought to doing it as well, right? Because
I did. I left BYU there, but and we'll talk about BYU Kansas, but you notice we're not taking out our Big 12 coin for this game, and we will be for BYU Kansas, which I think is very telling.
This is so many points for a Utah team that I think played really good physical football, and I'm having a hard time deciphering whether or not Utah's game on Saturday night late was just a product of being at night at Utah in a rivalry game.
Home game, stadium record crowd. Okay, so that's your argument for it just being those circumstances. Here's your argument against it being those circumstances. They changed quarterbacks. Brandon Rose ran the offense much more effectively than what we've seen so far this season since Cam Rising got hurt. Now, remember, Mike Bajakin, the former Northwestern coordinator, is calling plays for Utah now that Andy Ludwig stepped down. So perhaps the Brandon Rose, Mike Bajakin combo is really good. That said, and look, Utah has NFL players. Like, Utah has more NFL players than most Big 12 teams. But Colorado has high draft picks that Utah may not have. Like Brant Keithy, we think is an NFL player for Utah, but we saw him like going off the field at the end of the game with an injury. So Colorado has Shedeur Sanders, who's going to be a first-round draft pick. Travis Hunter is going to be a first-round draft pick. They've got defensive ends that are NFL draft picks. Like, Colorado is probably the more talented team. They're definitely the more top-end talented team in this game.
I don't think I'm picking whether I think Colorado is going to win. I'm wondering whether or not that hook there on the 10 is going to be a difference maker.
Yeah.
Or the fact that it's a 2-touchdown situation now.
Andy, would you like to know what Colorado has won by the last 3 games?
I know it's more than 10.5.
It's an average of 17.3.
Yeah. Do you want to take 30 seconds to talk about what Utah's athletic director said after the game on Saturday, or should we?
Yeah, let's do that.
We haven't had a moment. I'll read the quote because I pulled it up while you were talking. Utah athletic director Mark Harlan was fined $40,000 for saying this, by the way, after the game against BYU. And if you weren't up watching BYU, I don't know what you were doing with yourself on Saturday night.
Yeah,
but
defensive holding penalty that saved BYU.
Utah sacked Jake Retzlaff like at the goal line on 4th down to basically win the game. Everybody thought the game was over. Then there was a late flag for defensive holding. I haven't gone back and looked to see if there actually was holding. I didn't think it was a bad call.
They had a terrible camera angle. They like showed this all 20. They kept showing this all 22 angle. They didn't have a close up of it. The announcers, like Brock Osweiler was the analyst on that game, and he's like, obvious. Like Osweiler was on it during the play.
Okay.
Like as soon as the play ended, he's like, there's going to be a flag. It's going to be defensive holding.
Why are people upset about the call if it was a hold? Like, I just don't understand.
There was no camera angle that showed it close up. It was a big far away angle, and you couldn't see that there was, like, you could see the 2 guys kind of like close together in their blue jersey and their red jersey, but you couldn't see it well enough to say, "Oh, that was a great call."
Osweiler was calling out that there was a hold during the play, right? And then they called holding?
As soon as the play ended, like even before, maybe before the flag came out.
So we have to assume that there was a hold, and then they were called for holding. So I don't really understand why everybody got upset, because if you hold somebody, that's a penalty. But anyway, Harlan said, "This game was absolutely stolen from us. We were excited about being in the Big 12, but tonight I am not. We won this game. Someone else stole it from us. Very disappointed. I will talk to the commissioner. This was not fair to our team. I'm disgusted by the professionalism of the officiating crew tonight."
Well,
You don't really see
I'd find him for that
comments
too.
that stern.
Yeah, I'd find him for that too. Especially like it's one of those things like show me the film of the play. Like show me your close up of the play that says that it wasn't a hold.
Yeah.
But you can definitely play it tonight. Monday Night Football, Dolphins against the Rams. So if you're not playing PrizePicks, it is the best, most fun daily fantasy game in America. Download the app, use the code Staples, play $5, get $50 instantly. You're picking squares. Basically, what you have is a player with a stat category attached. So, like tonight, Matthew Stafford playing against the Dolphins, 257.5 passing yards. Do you think he'll throw for more or less than that? Puka Nacua, 70.5 receiving yards, more or less. Tyreek Hill and Tua Tagovailoa, same deal. They've got their own numbers, and you decide, will they have more or less than that? It's a lot of fun. It's quite a bit of intrigue to a Monday Night Football game. So download that PrizePicks app, use the code Staples, play $5, get $50 instantly. I'm
Because if
guessing
there was no
can't.
hold, I understand that. But if you're upset with the timing of it because you thought you won and then you didn't, I get that sucks. It's a real kick in the knackers.
Yeah.
But if it happened, it happened. So like and also too, you
we
didn't
got
have
a
to let them
comment
go
from
all the way
BZ
down the
World, who
field.
apparently hasn't been listening to the last 5 minutes of the show. Andy, are you ever going to give Prime credit for how he recruited, or are you going to cover Kurt Sig the praise for the transfer recruiting that Prime did first? Didn't I just say Colorado has more top end talent in this game? Didn't I just say that Colorado has 2 first-round draft picks? Did I just say that? I mean, I get you've probably skipped the last 4 weeks of shows where we've talked about this constantly, but I just said it. You guys got to stop being so butthurt. You really do. They're good. We've said they're good. We will continue to say they're good.
Yeah. I just don't know what to do here. Like part of me can see Colorado rolling, but also too is the Big 12 stop with its wonderful bag of surprises.
Oh no, I'm taking Colorado to cover.
Okay.
I think Colorado is the most like 3.5 plus minus 3.5 proof team in the Big 12 right now.
Colorado can score a lot.
Exactly. And that's the other teams either can score a lot and can't stop anybody. So you get these crazy like I think that's where Kansas lands right now. Like Kansas has gotten to the point where it can really score a ton. But like you saw them take this big lead on Iowa State, and Iowa State came back. Colorado, because of those edge rushers that they've got, and that's where our guy is right. Like what Deion did in the portal with the edge rushers, with BJ Green, with Deion Hayes, with Ojol Okinola. Like that's where they did their best work in the transfer portal this year. Those guys get after the quarterback and make things happen. Plus, you've got Travis Hunter locking down a side on the other side. Oh, Beezy's still paying for comments here. Andy,
nice
Pete Thamel said Prime is copying IU. Am I Pete Thamel? Go yell at Pete Thamel. I didn't say that.
Are we sure Pete Thamel said that? Because I don't think he would say that either.
I have no idea if Pete.
Why would
Thamel
he
said
say that? Okay, yeah, I don't. Because it's not. How is that possible? Like, how could he have?
I love. I'm mad at you because of somebody who doesn't work. You know, because of someone who doesn't even work with you said.
But that doesn't even
That's
make any
idiotic.
sense. It doesn't make any sense because nobody was talking about Kurt Signetti in terms of his transfer prowess until after they got really good. And Prime flipped his roster 2 times in a row before even half the people in this video even knew who Kurt Signetti was. So, like, why would Pete Thamel even say that? If he said that, it's just
Prime
wrong.
did it last year and it didn't work, and he did it this year and it is working because he got better players this time around. And I'm telling you, especially which position group he got really better players, and that's edge rusher. Like those guys are the difference in their defense this year, and it's fun to watch.
The thing that I'm going to be interested too is, like, I think if Colorado were to play like Texas, they would have a really hard time staying in the game but I don't know.
Well, I don't think so.
I haven't opened.
I think that would be a great game.
So I'm happy you said that, because I'm having a hard time opening up the part of my brain that actually is willing to ponder how far Colorado could actually go, not just make it, but like advance in the playoff. And I am laughing in my head, and I hope I'm wrong on this, but I was super amused at the beginning of the year about how much action Vegas casinos took on Colorado to win the national title at crazy long odds, like 200, 300 to 1. Like, if Colorado makes the playoff and then Colorado advances to the semifinals, Vegas is going to be shitting its pants because they are exposed to a lot of money here. And I don't think that they need to be scared yet. Like, I don't think Colorado is going to win the national title.
3 games in a row against that level of competition. But
I thought it was just taking in a bunch of cash. I was like, hey, if you want, I said this, I tweeted this at the beginning of the year. I said, if you want to take Colorado to win the national title at 250 to 1, I will be the house. Give me your money and I'll give you 500 to 1. Because like I thought it was a joke. Like I was like, well, people are just betting on this for no reason because they like Prime and that's it. And it's just like, like how I'd love to know. I want to call. I got to figure out who to call, but I'm going to try to call him this week. I'm going to try to call a person in Vegas that would know how dangerous Colorado winning the national championship would be for the books.
Those guys are actually very forthcoming with information. It's fun because they're happy to tell you this stuff, and because they're fascinated by it too. So I think Colorado's covering this spread, Ari. I know you think it's a little high, but I think Colorado's covering this spread.
I want to pick them too.
I think the hype machine really cranks up after this week.
Yeah. I don't love it, but I'll take Colorado.
Oh, to cover.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's going to be one of those games where we know whether we're right or wrong very quickly.
Yeah. I think we're going to be right. I just have a feeling about this one. I don't know. Now, when Colorado plays Kansas, that's the one I'm waiting for to be the fun one, the crazy, like,
when you play a team that can score on every possession too.
Exactly. And because Colorado is a team that can score on every possession, and I think that's what makes them different than most of the teams in the Big 12. So I'll take Colorado to cover. You will take Colorado to cover. Ari,